Yeah, UConn, led by Jim Penders, coming to town. Jim's a good friend. We're on that All-American committee together, so I've been able to build a friendship with Jim and respect his program so much. Our athletic director, David Benedict, that had spent some time at Auburn. Fond of David and as well. But this is a club that comes in where Jim's led this club for a long time. This is a proud, traditional, historic program in baseball. And they've done really well the last couple of years. Postseason, they were in the Gainesville Regional last year. 2 years ago, they were almost on a collision course with us in Omaha. They took a Stanford team, a great Stanford team, a Pac-12 champion, to Game 3 in the Super Regional. We were tracking on that while we were at Oregon State. So they've been very good here recently, and their roster, I think, that they bring to town this weekend will be no different. Extremely athletic team. Sometimes when you think of northern teams, you think a little bigger, stronger, burly, if you will. Guys that maybe can swing the bat and don't move as well. We're not getting that. We're getting an athletic team that can bunt, push. I wouldn't say militaristic, but they wear their uniform the right way. They play a certain brand of baseball that they take a lot of pride in, and so they'll play the game extremely well. Technique sound, very athletic club, and they'll stretch us. And again, I think it's going to be a broken record all year long of playing great teams and me pumping them up, because the schedule that we set forth and wound up creating and getting to now is going to challenge us each and every day, our ball club, whenever we step on the field, and UConn will be no different. But a great program to continue to help us grow and figure out who we are. And, you know, it's just two teams trying to play the game, and can we continue to be interested in trying to play good baseball.
Jason.
Butch, you're a couple weeks in now. What's the next step that you want to see out of this team as you guys move forward and get closer to kind of getting SEC play?
Good question. You know, I just talking about consistency. We're still looking for a game that we feel like is a complete game of what we're trying to do. Just take our most recent ball game, we became vulnerable, passing the baton, getting to the bullpen. Command, definition of command is authority over. Just us being able to have authority over baseball for an entire ball game. Authority over the strike zone for our hitters, authority over the zone with our pitching. I'm getting more and more confidence in our defense. That left side of the infield, Weiss has played very consistent. Fabian's played above average, especially recently. The last 3 or 4 ball games have been exceptional. Third base play. Outfielders have been solid. I think Ike Irish, short, only 8 games, but I feel like the returns on that's been very, very positive. I feel like Ike Irish has gotten better defensively since we've come back in January. That lineup, just organizing, a couple of guys still, you know, I told you I was going to be more interested in how we're playing as a team than individual statistics. But we got a couple of guys that are still can come on and find a rhythm that they're still hunting for, and guys that I believe in. And while that's happening, I still feel like they're doing a decent job of being connected as a group. And I want that to continue. But I think we can get a couple more guys going and do some more things within the lineup with a few better at bats. But all in all, I think the guys have been very connected. I think they've absolutely, tried to compete at a high level, and I just want that to continue. But we can't be this same team a month from now, regardless of outcomes or et cetera. We just need to be a better team in a month from now. And that's kind of my charge, to keep pouring into these guys on, like, what does that look like and how do we get there, and what do we need to be doing on a daily basis to make sure we're still becoming a better club.
As we go with the same rotation this weekend, what does Chase Alsop sort of need to do maybe to take it to another step forward?
Yeah, Chase is huge. We will do the same rotation, to answer the question. We love the depth of our pitching staff. We're about to play moving forward, I see the homestand, but I also see a double midweek next week. So you got guys that I absolutely still believe in. It's been crazy. Cole Edwards, the talent he has to only have that one at bat. Those are things that I'm thinking of as a coach right now that I got to figure out strategies. We're pretty close to having 9 guys that we believe in that we're kind of set our team too. I think we have more players that can absolutely help us and play good baseball outside of the 9 than we've had in the past, and that's a challenge. Pitching side with that double midweek game, I believe in Drew Nelson. He hadn't thrown an inning. Connor Copeland, the second half of the season last year was huge. These guys can pitch a little bit and have some success, and we invested some stuff like in a Drew Nelson last year. Our biggest deal of the week, I know this is definitely coach speak, but our practice today might be bigger than anything that we're doing this weekend, because those 2 guys I just mentioned, pitching wise, they need to throw to some hitters today to make sure they're good for this stretch that's coming up and getting them in the ball game. So I think our team will look different in a few weeks, but we still got the challenge of getting some guys in there, and we do have more depth on the mound than we've had since I've been here. But we still don't know. I guess we'll start figuring that out in 2 or 3 weeks if the rotation that we have is good enough to match the top of our league. And then that's kind of your benchmark. I don't know that it is today. Chase has got to get a fastball to the glove, and the command's got to be where it is to be competitive. Now he's hung in there, so I see some growth there. He hung in there enough last Friday night for us to be able to, that the first hitter, when that great starter for Iowa come out of the ball game, we tied it. So he was a part of doing that, of holding him at bay for us. Joseph, we talked about that right before the season, and is there that next step for him to absolutely get it going? So that's still out there. Myers has probably been our best for 2 starts overall, and maybe there would have been some changes, but I didn't love how we went into last weekend out of the bullpen, especially the last 2 days, Saturday, Sunday. I thought the bullpen was tremendous. On Friday, Iowa to hold us there, didn't walk a batter, running through 3 or 4 guys. And really Sunday, we didn't walk a batter once we went to the bullpen after Myers, but we gave up some hits, which turned into some late runs. So I don't know how you can change yet. When I woke up Monday, like, should we change something? Should we look at something different? We decided to stay pat, because if we move that, do we really get the outcome that we want? So hopefully everybody continues to grow, and we believe in those bullpen pieces. We want this to be our rotation. But the players will make the lineup out here over these next couple of weeks as we start marching toward SEC play.
Butch, I think you guys are top 10 nationally in walks generated. Do you chalk it up to kind of just more early season circumstance, or is that more of like a concerted effort for you guys?
They've evaluated the strike zone very good, along with hitting some extra base hits, along with doing some good things. We've evaluated the strike zone well, in my opinion. That'll change. And can we still play offense? Those walks will come down. I think you're seeing across the board in the country, you're seeing a little bit of that, is that early season stuff. But I know once we march into the best amateur baseball in the world in SEC play, that those numbers will come down, and can we still generate offense? That'll be the question. But I think some of that, why we're in that category, is because they've evaluated the strike zone very well to show some patience. But then also, when it's time to hit or when a ball's in their zone, we've gotten some good swings off. So I'm pleased. I just know the walks will come down as we start marching toward SEC play, and as teams just play more baseball. Once we get into 20 games into it, there'll be less walks, because coaches won't keep putting them in there to keep walking guys, and guys they'll get 3 or 4 starts underneath their belt, and they'll do a better job of throwing strikes. So for a couple of those reasons, that's going to go down, and can we still generate offense and score runs when that happens?
Oh, sorry.
baseball, if you're gonna do that in the fall, how beneficial is that for your team?
Yeah, it's been a measuring stick, not just for the coaches. It's not the end-all, be-all. It's put a new stimulus to our practice when you get to go play somebody. It gives like finish line markers for like where you're at as a program. Again, with the way we do it, it's so far from a real game, but nonetheless, having to go compete against somebody else, I think for a first-year player in our program, it's tremendous. It kind of like gives them a feel what it's going to be like, and they didn't have to delay that feeling for 4 or 5 more months. They got to already feel that. So we didn't do it for years, forever, and now that we've done it the last few years, I cherish it. I think it's good teaching points. I think it is just a good feel for these players to get into that type of situation. You can play your squad games, you can play within all you want to, but I think it helps develop a team. And so I could see any coach in any sport seeing the value in being able to play 1 or 2 of those. I think we've got it about right. Some of us would like to go to 4. I'd be okay with that. I'm thankful for having 2 instead of 0. So if we go to 4, I think that's great. If we stick at 2, it's been beneficial for us. So I hope they don't take that away.
You mentioned Derek Fabian and his defense, but just overall, where has the Buckles program expanded, heated up lately defensively, and then where's it been in the clubhouse also?
Yeah, he's a confident player. That was a Florida High School Player of the Year. That's a good player. And he played in a program in our league, so he knows what it's all about for 2 years. He got to play a lot as a freshman, and then he didn't get to play as much as he probably wanted to as a sophomore. So, man, that's 2 years, and that's a lot of lessons. So he comes to us with already experiencing highs, lows, but he's gifted. He can drive a ball to both sides of the field. He can run, and he's a functional runner, meaning I think he can steal a base and navigate around because he has good baseball IQ. And then defensively, this is a shortstop, and you know that's what we've done, led by Carl Nunemaker. Is I think one of the things that we've hit on that have been decent is my standard is close to home plate, and his is really that exceptional feel for the left side of the infield. I mean, these are 2 new pieces. That was a big ask to replace those 2 guys last year, and Fabian was the right guy to bring to our program. So an everyday player is a guy that can help you on both sides of the ball. And then in your special teams, that's a bonus, being able to run the bases. But he can help us offensively. He's showing that currently. He absolutely can lock it down defensively. He's shown that currently. And feel like that's made us a stronger club, you know. And so that left side of the infield has been big, especially, you know, we had a first rounder and a second rounder. We were going to commit to 2 high school guys coming in and doing that in this age of portal, and you know, $6.5 million kept that from happening from Major League Baseball. And then to be able to be blessed enough for our program to be able to attract Weiss, Hernandez, Fabian, we're thankful for that.
All right, thank you, Coach.
Yep.